What's going on? What's going on, Patriots? You're just locked in the hood politics where we always keep it 100. I'm your host, Jake, and y'all already know on this channel we cut straight to the BS, get straight to the policies and issues that hit us close to home. We talk about everything from elections to national debates, all the way up to political podcasts. And we start each and every one of them off sending out our thoughts and prayers. And I want to keep in our thoughts and prayers, first of all, to 14 people who lost their life in the UPS crash, including that beautiful baby girl. And also, I want to add little Carson Lawson. Um, if y'all are on my YouTube channel, y'all see I did a story on this young man, 5 years old, who lost his life by his grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Accidentally running him over. Let me throw that in there. You know what I mean? So I want to keep him in my prayers. You know what I'm saying? And our fallen General Charlie Kirk and the Kirk family, we all always keep them in our prayers. You know what I mean? So we got Marjorie Taylor Greene on the State of the Union with Miss Dana Bash. Bending the knee, y'all. There's no other way you can put it. Bending the knee. She is turning out to be our size John Fetterman to the left. You know, we're just gonna jump right into it, man. This is very, very, very disappointing. This is so disappointing, man. I'm so disappointed in MTG, man. Now, before we get started, it is fair, always fair to criticize the president, the sitting president, no matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? But they got to be fair criticism. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene criticism, I can't even speak right now, forgive me. I think hers is not fair. I think what she's trying to criticize the Trump administration about is not fair criticism. You know what I'm saying? But let's get started.
It's the political breakup heard round the world. President Trump severing ties with at least one of his closest allies, declaring, "I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene," even calling for primary challenges against his one-time loyalists and attacking her as, quote, wacky, a ranting lunatic, a rhino, and a traitor. This is days before the House of Representatives is set to vote on releasing the Epstein files. It's a stunning breach between two MAGA leaders, one of whom is here with me now exclusively for her first interview since the president cut ties. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, thank you so much for being here. As you just heard, and I know you saw, the president says he's withdrawing support for you, encouraging primary challengers. You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected, and I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided.
So you want to end the toxic fighting in politics by picking a fight with the sitting administration who you claim you support. Okay, make it make sense, Ms. Greene.
Our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Do y'all think she a traitor? I don't want to call her a traitor. I'm just calling her a politician, which is just as bad. So I'm just calling her a politician. I think she's trying to run for a higher office. So she's trying to move herself back to the center. But what you understand is those leftists is not finna accept you. Let's just continue, man, because this is crazy.
Unfortunately, it has all
what she
come
about
down
to do,
to
man.
the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking.
Well, as of today, Donald Trump has called on the Republican Party to vote to release the Epstein files. So I wish COVID would have never happened for several reasons, but one of the main reasons is it locked people in the house and they had nothing else to do but fall into some BS like this. We had a whole Epstein documentary. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about these files. What is it? You know, I see that they tried to put some emails out that basically flipped it, that got flipped around on them. More deception from them because, well, you know what? I'm going to do a video on it. We're going to do a video on that, on the emails too. So let's continue with this.
And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do.
Why haven't these women? And I thought I heard somewhere. I'm gonna have to look that up. I thought I heard somewhere where these chicks said that they was gonna put together their own list of names and do their own thing. So if that's the problem, why ain't nobody pressuring them? Well, I know why ain't nobody pressuring them, but this whole Epstein crap need to be put to rest, man. This is so aggravating, man. We fight about the dumbest things on the right. We fight about the dumbest sugar, honey, iced tea on the right. Man, we fight about the dumbest crap, yo.
My small part to get the files released.
You said on X yesterday, quote, "It's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, and that it really makes you wonder what is in those files."
See, that's the type of stuff that makes him call you a traitor. And that's the type of stuff, I didn't even realize she even did all this on X. Yeah, that's traitorous crap to the people you supposed to be aligned with. Yes, you are a traitor to the MAGA movement right now. You want the man to stop deporting illegals so your construction company can keep hiring cheap labor. I'm just assuming. You know what I'm saying? So, man, Marjorie, MTG. Oh, lady. And then one of my patrons is out there. What's going on with MTG? I really like her. Ooh. Well, baby girl, this is what's going on with her. This right here.
Are you suggesting there's something in the Epstein files that President Trump does not want Americans to see?
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused, is that the women themselves that I have talked to have over and over again said that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Quite a few of them even told me they voted for him. And those are
So This is what I'm talking about. So if you say you talk to multiple of these women, they say he did nothing wrong. Some of them even voted for the man. How could you go on X and say what you said? Why would you go on X and say something like that? Yes, that's traitorous traits, baby girl.
For the women I would like to see in the Oval Office with support, I would like to see all of the women there with support. I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard?
Well, before this blow-up, you sort of alluded to this just now. You said you were confident the president wouldn't be implicated. Are you still confident of that?
I'm listening to the women. Those are the ones that are saying that he did nothing wrong. Virginia Giuffre even said under oath that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, and she wrote it in her book. So I'm continuing to listen to the women, and I think their voices should be the loudest.
The president said the reason...
I think their voices should be the loudest too. So we need to ask the women. Why don't... It's so easy to squash all of this. You can go ask the victim. Hey, do y'all want us, can we release the files? And if they say, yeah, release them. Case closed. Why are we steady going through this? All you gotta do, see, politicians make stuff, this is how you know it's all political. First of all, you know it's political because none of this came up during the Biden administration. You know what I mean? But it's the Trump administration fault. It's Trump's fault for saying, I'm gonna have the Epstein files released, the JFK files, the MLK files. You have all these files released now. Now, you know, people want them. So you said it, you gotta do it, man.
That you have been critical
That's
of
how
him
I feel about the
is not
situation.
necessarily Epstein, but because he pushed you not to run for the Senate or for governor in Georgia. How and when did he do that?
Well, that is absolutely not true. Actually, I never had a conversation at all with the president about running for Senate or running for Georgia. And those were decisions I came to on my own, that I don't want to have anything to do with the Senate. I think the past 2 months of the government shutdown should have shown America exactly why I would never want to be there. I think it's a very broken institution that serves the uniparty and doesn't serve the American people and how they vote. And I decided that I didn't want to run for governor this cycle either. I very much want to do the job that I'm in. Everyone else says I'm running for something, but all I want to do is serve Georgia's 14th district, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
So he said it pretty explicitly. Are you saying he's lying, or did he at least get that message to somebody on your political team instead?
I'm not sure. But I don't. That is untrue. What he said. I don't know if he's being fed wrong information. I honestly have no idea in that area, but it is absolutely factually not true. Nor have I called him, and White House logs would prove that. His own cell phone records would prove it. I have not been calling the president, but I did post messages that I had sent to him, and that was to protect, get involved. This is important. The American people want the Epstein files released. And, I've stood with the president. I have disagreed with him at times, Dana, and I'm allowed to.
Well, we're gonna find out if he lying or not, because if he got receipts, then he gonna put him out. He gonna put him out because they're not gonna let this pass. They're not gonna drop it. CNN is not gonna drop it.
Do that. I think that's the most important thing we can do as Americans. And I'm urging my party. I've been putting massive pressure on my party and our speaker to pass the agenda that the American people vote for. That's the agenda that I fought for. Those are the campaign promises I made. And I can disagree with the president at times, particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an al-Qaeda terrorist and was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed and injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Well, you mentioned the Syrian leader at the White House. You've also been critical of President Trump over foreign entanglements, H-1B visas. Now he's moving military assets towards Venezuela. I do want to play something that he said this week.
Don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else, and MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Do you agree? Do you think he represents the MAGA movement as he once did?
Well, what the American people voted for with MAGA was to put the American people first and stop sending foreign aid and stop being involved in foreign wars. They very much deserve to be put first. Cost of living is far too high. Health insurance is completely out of control. And those are two issues I've been very vocal on for months and months now.
Where is this cost of living? See, I don't understand. Everybody talking about the food is up, and all this stuff is up. I don't see it where I'm at. I do not see it here in Wisconsin. And I'm just being honest, man. I don't know, maybe this is just a state-to-state thing, and that's probably why if your stuff is up, then you probably need to deal with your state legislator and your city legislators. Because gas is down out here in Wisconsin, and food is down, eggs is down, everything is down out here. So I don't understand. I was watching Tim Pool, and he said that no matter what Trump say, food is extra high. Like, what the hell are y'all buying? Like, what are you buying? Y'all rich, y'all buying this exotic bullshit. Yeah, it probably is higher, because they figure, hey, we can get these snooty snobs who should be eating regular food anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see this. I don't see this food hike that everybody is claiming. You know what I mean?
Long before Republicans.
And she talking about she want to push America's MAGA agenda. Well, MAGA voted for to get rid of all of the illegal immigrants. All of the illegal immigrants. So how you pushing that agenda, Ms. Green?
Were shocked when those big losses came on this past Tuesday's election. So I think that the American people deserve to be put first. That's what Make America Great Again.
And see, this goes to show you that she wouldn't be good at anything further than where she at, when she's really not that good here, to me. You know what I mean? I only was a big fan of MTG because I ain't gonna even lie, her stance on the 2A. You know what I mean? How she stood on 2A business and how she walked around with her AR, like, F what y'all talking about. So that's why I got on the MTG train. But what have she done? What bills has she put forward? What has she got passed? You know what I mean? I don't know. And I'm pretty much into politics, but I ain't in it that much. You know what I mean? I listen to some of these Senate hearings, but they be so boring because our government is full of grown-ass children from 80 years old to 30 years young. You know what I mean? Just grown-ass children. And it is mind-numbing to listen to those. They argue back and forth. Oh, my God. It is something else watching those hearings and listening to those hearings, man.
Meant to me. And I think that President Trump can do that if he refocuses his effort. And I think that's what I want to see. I think that's what the country wants to see. Even if he's attacking me, I do want him to be successful for the American people.
So sounds like you're saying that he is not representing the MAGA movement that he started right now.
I can say that promoting H-1B visas to replace American jobs, bringing in 600,000 Chinese students to...
She nitpicking little stuff that she... Now, if MAGA would have been okay with that, she wouldn't even be talking about this right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not okay with that either. But I ain't finna go to the enemy and get the trashing Trump. You know what I mean? Because he feel like maybe he knows. See, this is what people don't understand, man. This is the president of the United States. This is the most powerfulest man in the world at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And maybe this dude know things that we don't know. Like, we can't just get rid of all of the illegal immigrants if they're illegal immigrants and they taking up majority of a very important field. Then of course we're gonna have to have them in here because there's no way. Like, say for instance, I'm just giving a eyeball example. Say for instance, most of these illegal immigrants is running a major oil field that we rely on, or a major pipeline that we rely on. And nobody ain't trained to do the job that they are trained to do. You just can't just swipe them all up, throw them on a bus, and ship them up out of here. We can't do that because oil, it'll shut down, gas will go up, and you know what I mean? So maybe, I think Trump just delivered that message wrong. I think he delivered it. I think his delivery of that message went the wrong way with people. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually went the wrong way with me too. Because you just can't say we don't have the talent. Like, we do have the talent. We just don't have the schools and the academies that's teaching this stuff readily available to Americans. And then comes to find out, I don't believe that the H-1B visas have anything to do with talent. I think it still has to do with cheaper labor. The quartering did a video the other day, still showing how the H-1B visa recipients get paid to Americans, and it's still sometimes 50% less, which still seems like it's just all cheap labor to me. And that's why I'm saying you can't trust none of these people, man. You can't trust none of these people as far as you can throw them, man. Even Trump. You know what I mean? Because Trump folds at time. Trump folds at time, y'all. Y'all already know he do.
Replace American students' opportunities in American colleges and universities. Those are not America First positions. And continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I really, and I said this to him, and I will say it out loud, I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home, and there be nothing but a constant focus in the White House on a domestic agenda that helps the American people once and for all.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect,
Exactly.
I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Let's go, Dana.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. It's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another. And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama, just examples.
Ooh.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course,
She just pulled your politician card. She just Gavin Newsom your ass right on the spot. Bing.
never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Okay, so on that, I do want to ask you about something you posted just yesterday on X. You questioned who and what country is putting so much pressure on Trump to keep the Epstein files hidden. And you included a picture about donations from pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. What are you trying to say there?
Well, I think it's the question that many Americans are asking, especially when we saw information recently come out in these emails that the Oversight Committee that I serve on has released. And we saw Jeffrey Epstein with ties to Ehud Barak. We saw him making business deals with them, also business deals that involved the Israeli government, and seems to have led into their intel agencies. And I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel? And I'm proud to say I don't take money from AIPAC. I don't take money from any special group of people. I'm just representing my district and the American people. And so that's what I was referring to.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
I simply just asked out loud, is there a foreign government?
Yes, she simply said, oh, will somebody rid me of this priest? And then, boom. Oh, when they rid you of him. Oh, I didn't say do it. Get your ass out of here. Yeah, that's what she's saying. And she ain't got nothing to back it up. That's why she is chewing her words like this. But I love the way Dana Bass just threw all her little words and text back in her Miss I want to bring the world together. Now all of a sudden I don't want to go to fighting. I want to go back to writing strongly worded letters. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. Until the left start writing strongly worded letters and no more Charlie Kirks and Aaron Daniels happen, I'm sorry, Miss Green. You could do whatever the F you want to do, but the rest of us, we're going to prepare. We're going to stay prepared for what's coming. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I'm finna get up out of here because this done ran long enough, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to hear this, or I don't want to get into this Israel thing. I don't want to get into that, you know what I mean? So this your boy Jay from Hood Politics checking in, and I'm checking out, y'all. Y'all know how we do it.